Good afternoon and welcome to the South Carolina Public Service Commission. It is September 26, 2024 at approximately 2 p.m. and we are here for our weekly commission business meeting. In the hearing room, we have Commissioner Belser, Commissioner Carol Lee Williams, and I am Chair Powers. Joining us virtually, we have Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Caston, and Vice Chair Justin Williams. If you would, before we begin, please join me in a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. Mr. Scarborough, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Powers and Commissioners. First order of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next commission business meeting be set for Thursday, October 3rd, 2024 at 2 o'clock p.m.
The next business meeting will be Thursday, October 3rd at 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Today we have 8 items on the utilities agenda and 10 items on the transportation agenda. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-337S. This item involves a proposed notice by Blue Granite Water Company to customers in Fairwood subdivisions concerning volumetric rates.
Having heard item 1 is presented by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, this is
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission instruct Blue Granite to issue the notice as modified for clarity by the commission to the ratepayers in the Fairwood subdivisions in the Blue Granite service territory. I move that the clerk's office be directed to provide the approved modified notice to Blue Granite for issuance. I move.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion made by Commissioner Thomas, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we will proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Items 2 and 3 involve requests for confidential treatment of an exhibit and can be taken together. Item number 2 is in dockets number 2023-211WS and 2024-27WS. This is a request from CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, and AGC Silver Lake, LLC, for confidential treatment of Exhibit 5 of Josiah Cox's direct testimony. And item number 3 is in dockets number 2024-28S and 2023-387W. This is a request from CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, and Scott Linyard, MHP, Incorporated, for confidential treatment of Exhibit 5 of Josiah Cox's direct testimony.
Thank you. Having heard items 2 and 3 as read by Mrs. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
I move that the commission grant the request of the joint applicants as described by Mr. Scarborough for confidential treatment of the direct exhibit number 5 to the joint applicant's direct testimony of witness Josiah Cox pursuant to order number 2005-226. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Caston, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2024-247W. Staff recommends that this item be carried over. Item number 5 appears in docket number 2024-203E. This is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff for confidential treatment of the direct testimonies of witnesses Brandon S. Bickley and Jeffrey A. Gordon.
As to item 5, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of the Office of Regulatory Staff for confidential treatment of the direct testimonies of witnesses Brandon S. Bickley and Jeffrey A. Gordon pursuant to order number 2005-226 until no longer deemed confidential or proprietary.
Thank you, Vice Chair Williams. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2024-245E, which is a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of Exhibit NVB2 in witness Nathan V. Bass's testimony.
Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
I'm going to preface I have a motion, but I have some comments to make before my motion.
Certainly.
This matter is, or this item, I think, is in a little unusual posture because earlier this week, I think it was September 24th, Dominion filed a letter withdrawing their application. And that is allowed by statute that a party may, at appropriate time, withdraw as a matter of right. Dominion indicated that they would be refiling something later, but at this time they have withdrawn their application. I think we also received a letter yesterday from Dominion indicating, asking us to carry this item over because since they had withdrawn their application, this item was moot. However, I want to go ahead and address this issue, and the reason is, even though Dominion has withdrawn their application, and we will not be proceeding on the application as it stands now, those documents are still on file here at the Commission. And because of that, I do have a motion addressing their Dominion's motion for confidential treatment. And I do move, Mr. Chairman, that the Commission grant the request, the earlier request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of Nathan V. Bass's Exhibit NVB2. There were some and that's my motion. And I recognize that there was some sensitive information in that exhibit, and since we still have that present here at the Commission, I think that exhibit needs to be afforded protection as confidential.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Belser, is any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item number 7 is in docket number 2024-150G. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
As to item number 7, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, I have a motion.
Vice Chair Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The evidence in this case fails to establish that the company violated any rule, law, or order of the Commission. Ms. Taylor's complaint raised the general allegation of billing errors on her account. Specifically, the complaint asserted that her gas bill was extremely high. Over the billing periods of December 2023 through March 2024, Dominion responded that Ms. Taylor was properly billed on the gas usage record by the meter and there were no gas leaks present. Dominion tested the complainant's gas meter to determine if usage was metered correctly, and the company offered results regarding the evidence of the meter and whether or not it was being metered correctly. According to the company, the results confirmed the accuracy of and the calibration of Ms. Taylor's gas meter in compliance with South Carolina Code annotated Regulation 103-441B. The company's review also established that there was no billing error requiring adjustment and the account was not overcharged. Ms. Taylor's account was actually billed in accordance with the residential tariff approved by the commission. Ultimately, there is no evidence to suggest that Ms. Taylor was billed for anything other than actual gas usage. As such, I move that the commission deny the complaint of Ms. Taylor and also encourage the parties to once again consider doing a home energy audit of Ms. Taylor's property to see if they can determine what may have caused the elevated gas costs during the winter months. So moved. At the appropriate time, Mr. Chair, I do have a few comments.
You have the floor, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to thank the chair, commissioners, and staff, also the chief clerk, for the time and commitment given to this case. Understanding that this is a pro se litigant who filed a complaint that was not of the same specificity that we would see in complaints filed by parties who are represented. Nonetheless, we gave Ms. Taylor an opportunity to be heard and access to the commission. And I think such access demonstrates the commission's patience, kindness, and willingness to educate ratepayers on how they are charged for the services they receive from utilities. And I appreciate the time that we spent in this particular case, even though it resulted in a denial. I think Ms. Taylor has all the information she needs to understand how and why that denial was reached. And that would not have happened if the commission was not deliberate in doing everything they could to give access to pro se litigants in matters such as these. No further comments, Mr. Chair, and that's my motion.
Thank you for your motion and for your comments. Is there any further discussion? Commissioner Thomas.
Howard, this is Commissioner. Thank you, I appreciate it. I just wanted to make a point of clarification. A regulation was quoted, and I just wanted to make sure that we have the correct regulation. I believe it should be Regulation 103-441B. So in case that's needed for clarity or correction, I would just like to point that out.
All right, sir. Vice Chair, did you quote a different one?
If I did not intend to, because it's written just the way Commissioner Thomas quoted it. So if I did, that was a mistake, and I appreciate Commissioner Thomas's sharp eye.
All right. We'll correct the record if necessary. Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion? If not, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item 8 appears in docket number 2024-7G. This item also involves final disposition of this docket.
All right. As to item 8, do I hear a motion?
Mayor Powers.
Commissioner Thomas.
Pursuant to the provisions of the Natural Gas Rate Stabilization Act, codified at SC Code annotated section 58-5-400 at sequence, Piedmont Natural Gas Company, Inc. Incorporated filed its quarterly monitoring report for the 12 months ending March 31st, 2024. The Office of Regulatory Staff examined the operating expense report by Piedmont for the review period with the associated revenue requirement calculation. The Office of Regulatory Staff proposed certain adjustments, and the parties entered into a settlement agreement. Under the terms of the settlement agreement, Piedmont will implement rates for the 12-month period beginning with the first billing cycle of November 2024, calculated on the basis of a 9.3% return on equity as approved by Commission Order Number 2022-674. The parties agreed that Piedmont will realize an increase in the current margin rate totaling $3,331,777 based on the settlement accounting adjustments proposed by the Office of Regulatory Staff and Piedmont. Debt to equity ratio of 46.78% to 53.22%, and the return on equity of 9.3%. The parties agreed that Piedmont's total cash working capital requirement included in the base rate should be zero, as set forth in settlement exhibits 1 and 2. Piedmont will adopt the Office of Regulatory Staff's recommended accounting adjustments as set forth in the settlement agreement, the exhibit 2. On September the 23rd, 2024, the company filed a copy of the proposed schedules containing the rates and charges resulting from the adjustments agreed upon in the settlement agreement between the company and the Office of Regulatory Staff. The Office of Regulatory Staff is asked to check and confirm these schedules with the company and with the Commission no later than October the 2nd, 2024. Full order will be issued by the Commission no later than October the 15th, 2024. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda, in Part A, we have 5 applications for new Class C and Class E certificates. These items can be taken together. Item A1 is in docket number 2024-249T, which is the application of A1 Transit LLC for a Class C stretcher van certificate. Item A2 appears in docket number 2024-250T. This is the application of Ryan McAvoy, doing business as Sunrise Sunset Taxi Service, for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A3 is in docket number 2024-251T, which is the application of Solutions Moving Labor and Services for a Class E household goods certificate. Item A4 is in docket number 2024-252T, which is the application of Murphy's Travel Care LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. And item A5 is in docket number 2024-253T, which is the application of Low Country Luxury Limo LLC for a Class C charter certificate.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Having heard items A1 through A5 as presented, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
I move that the commission approve the application for Class C and Class E certificates in item numbers A1 through A5 as identified by Mr. Scarborough. A directive order will be issued for the application in the respective docket. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Caston, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have one request to amend a certificate. Item B1 is in docket number 2022-385T, which is a request from Sunshine Taxi LLC to amend Class C taxi certificate number 9850 to read Tony's Taxi LLC, doing business as Sunshine Taxi Company.
As to item B1, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Sunshine Taxi LLC to change its name and to amend its Class C taxi certificate number 9850 to read Tony's Taxi LLC, doing business as Sunshine Taxi Company.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have one request to cancel a certificate. Item C1 appears in docket number 2024-21T, which is a request from Assisted with Grace LLC to cancel Class C non-emergency certificate number 9915.
As to item C1, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas,
I move that the commission approve the request to cancel the certificate in item number C1 as identified by Mr. Scarborough. A directive order will be issued to cancel the motor carrier's Class C certificate.
thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part D of the transportation agenda, we have two requests for extensions of time. Item D1 is in docket number 2024-172T, which is a request from Divinity Personal Care LLC for a 9-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
As to item D1, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser,
thank you. I move the commission grant the request of Divinity Personal Care LLC for a 9-month extension of time until June 11, 2025 to comply with commission rules and regulations. If Divinity Personal Care LLC does not come into compliance with commission rules and regulations on or before June 11, 2025, Divinity Personal Care must file a new application with the commission with updated or current information requesting an order that will authorize Divinity Personal Care LLC to be licensed as a Class C non-emergency motor carrier upon compliance with commission rules and regulations.
thank you, Commissioner Belser. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item D2 appears in docket number 2014-73T, which is a request from Septian Jones, doing business as Beeline Transportation, for an additional 5-month extension of time to comply with Commission Order number 2024-197.
As to item D2, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Septian Jones doing business as Beeline Transportation for an extension of time until February 16th, 2025 to comply with commission rules and regulations. Pursuant to paragraph 2 of Exhibit A to order number 2024-197, reinstated the authority of the motor carrier to provide motor carrier services upon payment of registration fee and providing and maintaining proof of insurance. By way of background, order number 2024-197 was issued on March 21st, 2024, and thereafter the applicant requested a 3-month extension. Septi & Jones, doing business as Beeline Transportation, has timely filed a second request for extension of time to come into compliance for re-licensure. However, if Septi & Jones fails to complete the certification process within the extension period or by February 16th, 2025, the order number 2024-197 is null and void. This means that if order number 2024-197 is null and void, then the motor carrier Septi & Jones, doing business as Beeline Transportation, must file a new request or application with the Commission providing updated or current information and seeking approval to be licensed again following compliance with Commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Do we hear any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part E of the transportation agenda, we have one request to suspend a certificate. Item E1 is in docket number 2024-141T, which is a request from Test Easy Laboratory LLC to suspend Class C non-emergency certificate number 9947 for 12 months, beginning October the 1st, 2024.
Having heard item E1 is presented by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, on September 16, 2024, the Commission received the request from Test Easy Laboratory LLC seeking voluntary suspension of its Class C non-emergency certification number 9947 for 12 months. The motor carrier requested that suspension begin on October 1st, 2024. I move that the Commission grant the request of Test Easy Laboratory LLC to suspend the carrier's Class C non-emergency certificate number 9947 for the period beginning October 1st, 2024, ending September 30th, 2025. Prior to the expiration of this suspension period, Test Easy Laboratory LLC must come back into compliance with Commission rules and regulations. If Test Easy Laboratory LLC does not come into compliance with Commission rules and regulations by September 30th, 2025, Test Easy Laboratory LLC must file a new request or application with the Commission providing updated information and seeking an order to authorize Test Easy Laboratory LLC for licensure, again upon compliance with Commission rules and regulations. So moved.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair. Having heard the motion by Vice Chair Williams, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the Commission today.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Scarborough, and thank you all for your participation today. Please be extra careful until this weather moves out of here. Be sure to check on your neighbors and family and have a fun weekend. We are adjourned.